Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to read from H.D. Collected Poems, 1912-1944. The poems we are reading today, Priest, the Dancer, the Master, the Poet, are in Louis L. Mortz's introduction, quote, all 4 highly personal poems and all speaking in an open voice about another human being for whom the speaker feels a strong attachment, end of quote. The Sea Flower poems at the end are lucid and sensuous, objective correlatives for the human being. They have such distilled beauty. The superlative actors in order of appearance are Corinne Conley, Kay Weissman, Helen Richman, Toni Sawyer. Here's Corinne Conley.
Priest. 1. Now you are a priest, and she is dead. You said she was gay. She suffered too much, but she laughed. You say she alone gave me prescience and knowledge. Let me see God. You say, not hesitant, but taught, and too eager to say, she went her way. She was perfect. You say it too starkly. You need not shout. I hear. I am near. Maybe there is truth in what you say. You are sincere and strong. You know what you think. Oh, long, long was my way. Long, long was the path I took. Many, many years, seasons, moons, noons, winter, summer, all day with a song, a scimitar. You say, she gave me everything. 2. Plentiful is your praise for a woman who is dead, while one lifts a proud head, stalwart as the moon, not to be killed, even by the most luminous sun ray. You may see her at high noon, stubborn as moon ray, stubborn as steel, stubborn as that platinum disk in the full day, when the sun rides high and flings gold arrow on gold arrow, beauty to betray all but one whom even he may not slay. Stubborn as the crescent moon at dawn or evening, set like a knife to separate night from day. Stubborn as the knife blade of the moon that tells winter from summer, that decides the birth even of the sun. Stubborn to live, stubborn to brood, stubborn to find all secrets from herb, sand, steel, rock. Mill to grind grain from sand, remorseless tide, none may withstand. Stubborn, stubborn to continue, repel, attract, command, obey, so that at last even you meet an equal. Stubborn, stubborn the love that is burnt through and burnt out and burnt away. 3. She is dead, but there is beauty, a white rose. You might have made her beautiful to me, not taken her away. You might have said, oh, my sister, you wielder of arrows, you. You might have stayed sickness, my sister, color of wild herbs. You might have cured madness, sister, my equal, a woman and human. You might have gained, have prevailed with your magic of mountains, where even I quailed before darkness. You might have given her to me, you might have given me to her, have given her to me. But you failed. She alone, you said, was true, and you lied. As the moon draws the tide, as the sun draws the day, you knew you lied, saying she alone understood. 4. But you will not say you lie, and I will not die, and you will not praise me that I live, nor give signification, nor recognition, nor any sort of sign, nor hail me who wear a breastplate difficult to bear, radium, with radium on my thighs, and greaves of white luminous power, white as a knife that eats through me, rapture like fire that is and is not, that sort of thing you would mistake in your innate stupidity for desire. You will not see that desire begets love until it all flames into one concise and metallic blaze, radium and platinum running like quicksilver, never quiet yet static. Love that you, in your small way, your will set to my will, mistake. And I say tacitly, yes, love her. Only I say tacitly, take, take, take. Yet you in your stupidity don't differentiate. Don't say, this is terrible and beautiful and near to God. No, you prefer a woman under the earth. You heap roses above a grave. A woman under the earth is safe. A woman dead is beloved. It's all neat. But God is not neat. He runs the fire in the dew, the cobweb, the newt's tongue, the owl's ear, the delicate flick of a lizard's tail, a swan song, and a song's heartbreak, and the wind asleep and the wind awake. God is in mind. But you say, she was simple, she was true. Tacitly you say, we are through with all that. But you don't really know what you mean. Won't differentiate between God in a swan beak and God in a fin flick under lake, and God asleep and God awake. 5. So you follow God in your way, and I say ironically, go your way. You wake, you sleep, you pour wine in a silver cup. You say, God is in wheat, and to punctuate the manifest beauty of God born again, you rise early to praise God in the red grape. 6. But you will not be human. I say, yes, love a woman who is dead. I say, remember her frail head, remember her night and day. But you will not meet me halfway. You will not say, I see something that is intrinsically terrible, and I honor you. You will not love, you will not honor, you will obey. Only what you think you hear, or do hear. God is waiting. My life, you said, is a preparation for God who is waiting. And I think, God forgive him. God forgive him what he says. Pity him, O God, pity him. We do not wait for you. You are here. 7. You will not say, O reflector of beauty, you are not beauty, but you give back that beauty, that ray, that is beauty, a red rose. You will not say, oh, terrible, terrible, that beauty, but you turn, you flee. Clever man, how clever to know danger. There is danger. Worship beauty that is dead. Don't stop. Do not turn. Do not say, oh, reflector of beauty, you are not beauty, but you give back beauty. That ray, that is beauty, a red rose. God, who knows all, knows why you will not say, I do not love you. But today you gave back the world to me. The moon ray at dawn that draws the sun up out of the dark and home, Lord of the day. 8. You come late. You say, we are old. Cold, cold is the hand that you would draw back. Cold, cold is death. But we are not old. Cold is life, with a radium heat more cold, beautiful. You are right and terrible. You are right. Life is more terrible than death. But we are not old. Cold, cold is your breath. Cold is your face and your heart, but not so cold as the love that is radium, that is my heart, that has been my heart. Not so cold as the arrow, madness that would slay us, who forsake life, desire. Not so cold as my love that is burnished to withstand even your fire. 9. She is dead, but there is beauty, a red rose. She was luminous and pale, so I infer, like phosphorescence on North Seas when the day is over. She had no lover but you, who could not love her, nor woo her with a fervor equal to his, whose kiss stings and stills. Your kiss was stale, satiate and pale beside his, who commands battles, who kills when the battle delays, with plentiful invention, plague, horror, terror, fever, aye, even fervor. Yet death and I were equal. I have walked with like fever, with like fervor, but I did not die. 10. Love is no easy thing to define. You take plummet and line and say, you touch depth. All right. You measure that love. It was so many hopes, so many fears, nights, days. But I say, there is no measure to the thing I knew that took me out of time. I'll measure the years. My hopes, my fears were measureless. 5 minutes? 5 days? 15 to be exact. Exactly 15 years. Almost to the day. 11. I cannot tell you what you say. I cannot take tablet and wax and make words to fit space on a tablet and make words to fit any rhyme. I cannot measure that love. It was timeless. It was mighty and took me up out of earth, out of years. You lay roses on earth, on a small mound, but earth was left behind. I couldn't even measure that earth. I don't know where I went. Somewhere out of time. 12. I listen to you talk. I reply, yes, death. How sad your loss. I hesitate. There is pause and counterpause, and there is the moment we let lie. That last remark, for instance, to take up. Turn it like glass to the light. Let it reflect your life, her life. I see you together. I see you apart. No, I don't see anything. For your words spoken like a king, at one with love, the earth, loss, death, don't count. Your words don't mean anything. 13. And you are a stranger, my lover. Thank God we never did love. That would have broken the charm, wrought harm, made that day potent, this day sad. Thank God you never kissed my hand. Thank God you were separate, apart from any other. There was no other but you. I laugh. You could never escape, you and she, and the others. Maybe you loved her, but you could never escape, for all your taut frame, your valor, your kind of honor, spotless devotion and all that. Whatever you did with her, said, I know, was tinged with the wine lees of the past. 14. We go in opposite directions, you said, as I waited for you to go. Why did you say it then? So we meet in the end. Oh, we meet in the end. You waited until the goodbye was through, formal and yet gay, as fitted too, meeting after all these years. My memory does not scar. I do not seek God by an altar. He was so near. You waited for me to turn, then you said in that voice that throbs and burns, that voice that was so conventionally steady all through, we meet in the end. Oh, my friend, where is your wisdom? The end is the beginning. Oh, my priest, where is your robe? The beginning, the end.
The dancer. I came far. You came far, both from strange cities. I from the west, you from the east. But distance cannot mar, no deter meeting when fire meets ice or ice fire. Which is which? Either is either. You are a witch. You rise out of nowhere. The boards you tread on are transferred to Asia Minor. You come from some walled town. You bring its sorcery with you. I am a priestess. I am a priest. You are a priest. You are a priestess. I am a devotee of Hecate, crouched by a deep jar that contains herb pulse and white bean, red bean and unknown small leek stalk and grass blade. I worship nature. You are nature. I worship art. I am now from the city of thinkers, of wisdom makers, and I watch as one comes from afar in a silver robe. I carry no wine jar. I watch intent, as one outside with whom is the answer, intelligence alert. I am here to report, to say this is or is not God. I am perfectly aware, perfectly cold. A girl clutches her lover's wrist. I do not care. I am perfectly aware of what you are doing, of what seeds you are sowing. I know what this youth thinks, what nerve throbs in that old man. How that one soldier, back from the last war, feels healing, electric, in a clear bar where no arm should be. where an arm should be. Nothing is hidden from me. If you make one false move, I will slay you. I hate and have no fear. You cannot betray me. You cannot betray us, nor the Son who is your Lord. For you are abstract, making no mistake, slurring no word in the rhythm you make, the poem writ in the air. 3. Fair, fair, fair. Do we deserve beauty? Pure, pure fire. Do we dare follow desire where you show perfection? Loveliest, oh, strong ember burns in ice. Snow folds over ember, fire flashes through clear ice. Pattern frozen is red rose. Rhododendrons bend under full snow, yet each flower retains color. The rhododendrons are in flower, and snow covers the flame heat of purple, of crimson, of dark blue, of pale blue, of white crystal calyx. Miracle, miracle of beauty returned to us. The sun born in a woman. We are more than human, following your flame, O woman. We are more than fire, following your controlled vibrance. We are more than ice, listening to the slow beat of our hearts, like undercurrent of sap in a flowering tree covered with late snow. We are more than we know. Give us the strength to follow, the power to hallow beauty. You are wind in a stark tree. You are the stark tree unbent. You are a strung bow. You are an arrow, another arrow. Your feet fling their arrows, your twin arrows. You then pulse into one flame. Oh, luminous. Your feet melt into folded wing, to mermaid's tail. Oh, love, in the circle of opening, of closing, of opening. You are every color of a butterfly. Now in a frail robe, you are a white butterfly, burning with white fervor. You are moonflowers seen in water. You are every flower I cannot stop to name, nor do I claim precedence among the harp players. My song note falters. I claim no precedence among the flute players, for I could not maintain presence enough to stand there at your feet with the rest, making that music. I cannot name the Doric, nor the Ionic measure, nor claim greatness. I have gained no laurel in Delphi. But he, your father, burning sun lover, has yet had his jest, has said, among all these there is one voice, one counselor. Listen, Rhodoclea, he says. Dance, for the world is dead. Dance, for you are my mistress. You are my stylus. You write in the air with this foot, with that foot, with this arrow. Your flung hand is that pointed arrow. Your taut frame is one arrow, my message. You are my arrow, my flame. I have sent you into the world beside you. Men may name no other. You will never die. Nor this one whom you see not, sitting sullen and silent, this poet. Oh, let us never meet, my love. Let us never clasp hands as man and woman, as woman and man, as woman and woman, as man and man. Oh, let us never speak, my love. Let us never utter words less than my heartbeat, words less than your throbbing feet. White cygnet, black missile thrush. Let us never crush breast to breast. Let us never rush purple to purple fire. Wide flowers crushed under the glory of God in the whirlwind of God in the torrent. Oh, chaste Aphrodite, let us be wild and free. Let us retain integrity, intensity, taut as the bow, the Pythian strings to slay sorrow. There is much to know and little time. O bright arrow, there are many to heal and few to feel the majesty of our King. There is little to know and all eternity, O my sister. There is no hurry, no haste, no waste, only leisure, infinite leisure to proclaim harmony our master. So haste not, bright meteor. Waste not strength, O fair planet, singing sister. Move delicate strength, pause, never weary pallor. Gather blue corn flowers and poppies in your hair, O priestess. Teach men that the sun disk is bearable and his ardor dare further. Stare with me into the face of death and say, love is stronger. Rhodoclea, rhododendron, sway, pause, turn again. Rhododendron, oh wide rose, open, quiver, pause and close. Rhododendron, oh strong tree, sway and bend and speak to me. Utter words that I may take, wax and cut upon my tablets. Words to make men pause and cry, rhododendron, to the sky. Words that men may pause and kneel broken by this pulse we feel. Rhododendron, laurel tree, sway, pause, answer me. You who fled your lord and sire till he pulsed to such desire that no woman ever could after bear his sacred brood. Only singing fools and deaf trees might speak his prophecies. Rhododendron, O wild wood, let no serpent with drawn hood enter, know the world, we know. Rhododendron, O white snow, let no mortal ever know mysteries within the fold of purple and rose and gold cluster of this sacred tree. Rhododendron, swear to me by this mountain, by his stream, none shall mar the Pythian dream. We will build an altar here. Swear by wood, by hill, by star, swear by wind, by curve of bay where his leaping dolphins lay, singing to the priests on high, build the altar, let life die, but this song shall never die. Leap as sea fish from the water, toss your arms as fins, dive under, where the flute note sings of men leaving home and following dream. Bid men follow as we follow, as the harp note tells of steel, strung to bear immortal peril, pleasure such as gods may feel. Bid men feel as we feel.
The master, He was very beautiful, the old man, and I knew wisdom. I found measureless truth in his words. His command was final. How did he understand? When I traveled to Miletus to get wisdom, I left all else behind. I fasted, I worked late, rose early. Whether I wore simple garments or intricate, nothing was lost. Each vestment had meaning. Every gesture is wisdom, he taught. Nothing is lost, he said. I went late to bed or early. I caught the dream and rose dreaming. And we wrought philosophy on the dream content. I was content. Nothing was lost, for God is all. And the dream is God. Only to us is small wisdom, but great enough to know God everywhere. Oh, he was fair. Even when I flung his words in his teeth, he said, I will soon be dead. I must learn from the young. His tyranny was absolute, for I had to love him then. I had to recognize that he was beyond all men, nearer to God. He was so old. I had to claim pardon, which he granted with his old head, so wise, so beautiful, with his mouth so young and his eyes, oh God, let there be some surprise in heaven for him, for no one but you could devise anything suitable for him, so beautiful. I don't know what to suggest. I can hardly suggest things to God, who with a nod says, rise, Olympus, sink into the sea, O Pelion, Wassa, be still. I do not know what to say to God, for the hills answer his nod, and the sea, when he tells his daughter, white mother of green leaves and green rills and silver, to still tempest, or send peace and surcease of peril when a mountain has spit fire. I do not know how to differentiate between volcanic desire, anemones like embers, and purple fire of violets like red heat, and the cold silver of her feet. I had two loves, separate. God, who loves all mountains alone, knew why and understood, and told the old man to explain the impossible, which he did. What can God give the old man who made this possible? For a woman breathes fire and is cold. A woman sheds snow from ankles and is warm. White heat melts into snowflake, and violets turn to pure amethysts, water clear. No, I did not falter. I saw the whole miracle. I knew that the old man made this tenable, but how could he have foreseen the impossible? How could he have known how each gesture of this dancer would be heretic? Words were scrawled on papyrus. Words were written most carefully. Each word was separate, yet each word led to another word, and the whole made a rhythm in the air, till now unguessed at, unknown. I was angry at the old man. I wanted an answer, a neat answer. When I argued and said, well, tell me, you will soon be dead. The secret lies with you. He said, you are a poet. I do not wish to be treated like a child, a weakling. So I said, I was angry, you cannot last forever. The fire of wisdom dies with you. I have traveled far to Miletus. You cannot stay long now with us. I came for an answer. I was angry with the old man, with his talk of the man's strength. I was angry with his mystery, his mysteries. I argued till daybreak. Oh, it was late, and God will forgive me my anger, but I could not accept it. I could not accept from wisdom what love taught. Woman is perfect. She is a woman, yet beyond woman, yet in woman. Her feet are the delicate pulse of the narcissus bud pushing from earth. Oh, where is your man strength? Her arms are the waving of the young male, tentative, reaching out that first evening alone in a forest. She is woman. Her thighs are frail yet strong. She leaps from rock to rock. It was only a small circle for her dance. And the hills dance. She conjures the hills. Rhododendrons awake. Her feet pulse. The rhododendrons wake. There is purple flower between her marble, her birch tree white thighs, or there is a red flower parted wide as her limbs fling wide in dance, ecstatic Aphrodite. There is a frail lavender flower hidden in grass. Oh God, what is it? This flower that in itself had power over the whole earth, for she needs no man. Herself is that dart and pulse of the male. Hands, feet, thighs, herself perfect. Let the old man lie in the earth. He has troubled men's thought long enough. Let the old man die. Let the old man be of the earth. He is earth. Father, oh beloved, you are the earth. He is the earth. Saturn, wisdom, rock. Oh, his bones are hard. He is strong, that old man. Let him create a new earth. And from the rocks of this rebirth, the whole world must suffer. Only we who are free may foretell, may prophesy. It is he, the old man, who will bring a new world to birth. It is he who already has formed a new earth. He will trouble the thoughts of men, yet for many an eon. They will travel far and wide. They will discuss all his written words. His pen will be sacred. They will build a temple and keep all his sacred writings safe. And men will come and men will quarrel, but he will be safe. They will found temples in his name. His fame will be so great that anyone who has known him will also be hailed as master, seer, interpreter. Only I will escape. And it was he himself, he who set me free by prophecy. He did not say, stay, my disciple. He did not say, write each word I say is sacred. He did not say, teach. He did not say, heal or seal documents in my name. No, he was rather casual. We won't argue about that, he said. You are a poet. So I went forth, blinded a little with the sort of terrible tears that won't fall. I said goodbye and saw his old head as he turned, as he left the room, leaving me alone with all his old trophies, the marbles, the vases, the stone sphinx, the old jars from Egypt. He left me alone with these things, and his old back was bowed. Oh God, those tears didn't come. How could they? I went away. I said, I won't have this tyranny of an old man. He is too old. I will die if I love him. I cannot love him. He is too near, too precious to God. But one does not forget him who makes all things feasible. One does not forgive him who makes God in all possible, for that is unbearable. Now can I bear even God for a woman's laughter, prophecies, happiness, not man, not men, only one, the old man, sacred to God. No man will be present in those mysteries, yet all men will kneel. No man will be potent, important, yet all men will feel what it is to be a woman, will yearn, burn, turn from easy pleasure to hardship of the spirit. Men will see how long they have been blind, poor men, poor mankind, how long this thought of the man pulse has tricked them, has weakened them, shall see woman perfect. And they did. I was not the only one that cried madly, madly. We were together. We were one. We were together, we were one, sun worshippers. We flung as one voice, all cry, Rhododelia, Rhodocalia, near to the sun. We did not say, pity us. We did not say, look at us. We cried, oh, heart of the sun, rhododendron, rhodoclea, we are one worthy your beauty. You are near beauty, the sun. You are that Lord, become woman.
The poet. There were seahorses and mermen and a flat tide shelf. There was a sand dune turned moonward and a trail of wet weed beyond it, another of wet weed, burnt another color, and scattered sea pods from the seaweed. There was a singing snail. Does a snail really sing? A sort of tenuous wail that was not the wind nor that one gull that perched on the half-buried keel, nor was it any part of a translatable sound. It might have been, of course, another sort of reed bird further inland. Inland, there was a pond filled with water lilies. They opened in fresh water, but the sea was so near. One was afraid some inland tide would sudden squall, would sweep up, sweep in over the freshwater pond, down the lilies. That is why I am afraid. I look at you, I think of your song. I see the long trail of your coming. Your nerves are almost gone. Your song is the wail of something intangible that I almost, but not quite, feel. But you are my brother. It is an odd thing that we meet here. There is this year and that year. My lover, your lover, there is death and the death past. But you are not living at all, and I was half living. So where the tears blight these others, we who are not of the years have escaped. We got nowhere. They were all going somewhere. I know you now at this moment, when you turn and thank me ironically. Everything you say is ironical. For the flagon I offer, you will have no more white wine. You are over-temperate in all things. Is inspiration to be tempered, almost as you pause, in reply to some extravagance on my part. I believe that I have failed because I got out of the husk that was my husk and was butterfly. Oh, snail, I know that you are singing. Your husk is a skull. Your song is an echo. Your song is infinite as a sea. Your song is nothing. Your song is a high tide that washed away the old boat keel, the wet weed, the dry weed. the sea pods scattered, but not you. You are true to yourself, being true to the irony of your shells. Yes, it is dangerous to get out, and you shall not fail, but it's also dangerous to stay in unless one is a snail. A butterfly with that antenna is moral and ironical too. And your shell is a temple. I see it at nightfall. Your small Coptic temple is left inland, in spite of wind, not yet buried in sandstorm. Your shell is a temple. Its windows are amber. You smile, and a candle is set somewhere on an altar. Everyone has heard of the small Coptic temple, but who knows you who dwell there? No, I don't pretend in a way to understand, nor know you, nor even see you. I say, I don't grasp his philosophy, and I don't understand. But I put out a hand, touch a cold door. We have both come from so far. I touch something impersonable, imperishable. I think, why should he stay here? Why should he guard a shrine so alone, so apart, on a path that leads nowhere? He is keeping a candle burning in a shrine where nobody comes. There must be some mystery in the air about him. He couldn't live alone in the desert without vision to comfort him. There must be voices somewhere. I am almost afraid to sit on this stone a little apart, hoping you won't know I am here. I am almost afraid to look up at the windows, to watch for that small flame. I'm almost afraid to speak. Certainly won't cry out, hail or farewell, or the things people do shout. I am almost afraid to think to myself, why is he here? Sea rose, harsh rose, marred with a stint of petals, meager flower, thin, sparse leaf, more precious than a wet rose, single on a stem. You are caught in the drips, stunted with small leaf. You are flung on the sand. You are lifted in the crisp sand that drives in the wind. Can the spice rose drip such acrid fragrance hardened in a leaf? Sea lily, reed slashed and torn, but doubly rich. Such great heads as yours drift upon temple steps, but you are shattered in the wind. Myrtle bark is flecked from you. Scales are dashed from your stem. Sand cuts your petals, furrows it with hard edge, like flint on a break stone. Yet, though the whole wind slash at your bark, you are lifted up. I, though it hiss to cover you with froth. Sea poppies, amber husk, fluted with gold, fruit on the stand, marked with a rich grain, treasure still near the shrub pines. To bleach on the boulders, your stalk has hot root among wet pebbles, drift flung by the sea. and greatest shows, splits upon shows, beautiful, widespread, fire upon leaf. What meadow yields so fragrant leaf? I'm sorry, I don't have the other one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Corinne, Helen, Kay, Toni, for such an exalting, beautiful reading. You all you enraptured me as a listener and watcher. She's such a wonderful poet. She's personal and yet classical. We have about 5 minutes left. Why don't we go around, each take a minute, and let's start with Corinne and then Kay, Helen, and Toni, and talk about the poetry or what you want about the reading.
Well, in my case, as I read Priest, it was only after I read about her life, and she had this unrequited love for a certain man for 10 years, which she mentions the 10 years in this poem. And really, it was all about that unrequited love, and it made sense to me in that context as I read it. But I couldn't help but wonder if you didn't know that story, how that poem would affect you. So when I was listening to the others, I was trying to kind of get a story behind her poems, and only Helen's seemed almost like a feminist treatise, I thought. So I'd say that she demands some study in understanding what she wants to say in her poetry.
Kay?
Well, first of all, I just want to say how much I love all the other actresses. To hear them, it's just inspiring. It was, I just loved it and understood every one of the poems. I had a hard time with this poem until I don't know if I achieved anything in it, except I started to feel the motion of a dancer in the words. And this was like just the last day that I thought, oh, that's it. That's what she's talking about. The motion and the words lent it to that. And then I said, well, that gives me something to lean on. But I think it's exquisite work. I mean, what kind of a mind is that can do that kind of writing? I was very enchanted by it.
Helen?
Well, until I looked at her story, her life a little bit, I didn't quite understand the poem, but I think I came to the conclusion that HD, in my reading of The Master, that she's talking about Freud, and Corinne mentioned had been with a man for 10 years. She kind of, as far as I can see, went to his retreat or wherever he was having his disciples, and she respected his wisdom very much, but she was very frustrated because she was not getting the answers. I don't know what part of life she was looking for an answer for, because none of us are ever going to know the complete answer of life, but she wasn't getting it from him, and said she had two separate loves. And so I think she was torn between the very intellectual kind of wisdom of Sigmund Freud and the lover that she had for many years, the woman in her life.
Toni?
That's interesting. Helen, I didn't get that she had this woman in her life, but thank you. I find she has a fascinating mind. I think she's felt torn between her poetry maybe and places she wanted to go with her poetry, in her mind. And I found her very deeply religious too. She seemed to mention God a lot. I think maybe she always had a push-pull kind of thing with her mind. Should I or shouldn't I go that far or not go that far? That's kind of what I got from it. I think she had a brilliant mind, and her poetry is incredibly interesting to read. And yes, listening to the other actresses, I think it illuminated things that I found just reading all of them more concise. I really did. Yeah. Brilliant woman.
I love all your readings. And just briefly, her father was an astronomy professor at Pittsburgh University. She met Pound and Williams there. Later, she married Richard Aldington. And then, as Helen mentioned, she met a woman, Breyer, and they were together 45 years. But her poetry is like sculpture on the page. Somebody used the word exquisite, and she is just such an exquisite poet. She may be, sometimes I think she is the greatest poet in the 20th century who's an American. But you all just gave it your all. I mean, just really, as Kay said, she was enchanted. So thank you all once again. I mean, all of you actors are just marvelous readers and interpreters, and you just really, you're the best there are. So thank you all. Thank you, Corinne, Kay, Toni, Helen, and here's Jennifer Clymer.
I want to echo what Harry just said. One of the reasons, and I know I say this often at the beginning of Harry's show, but when you all gather to share your performance and your interpretation of poem, I know that you've taken time to do the research, to find the emotional truth, and to share that emotional truth. So I want to thank you very much for doing that again with poetry that is, that's breathtaking and heartbreaking. Now let's play Wordle. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Harry.